Oh, that's a nice bass. There you are, lovely. Get in! Welcome to Bald Bloke Fishing. Yep, I'm a bloke, I'm bald, and hopefully later on I'll be fishing. Today we're looking for bass, taupe, flatfish, possibly if we see them on the fish finder, some mackerel or herring, and eels. I'd like an eel, a nice little eel. I haven't caught one of those this year. Right, so we're heading out from Titchmarsh Marina. Can't do more than 3 knots in the marina itself because the harbour master who lives up there has got a nice pair of binoculars on us and is willing to tell us off if we make mistakes. But before I go out on any journey, I like to do a radio check, and with this harbour master it's channel 80. So here we go. Harbour master, this is Vamos. Over.
Vamos, this is Titchmarsh, Harbour Master, over.
Yeah, just reporting signals. Vamos, over.
You're loud and clear, over.
Yeah, received. Just for information, I'm looking to be fishing in and around Stonebank today. All the best, Vamos out. Sometimes your rod gets tangled up in the locker. You have to untangle it. Obviously we're on a tide that's going to flood, so I need to give extra line out. Most importantly, let everyone know that you're anchor. So I do. You should pre-select a load of traces in order for when you come out fishing, so you're not sitting here wasting your time making up traces when you could be catching fish. So I've got double hooks, single hooks. I've got them all basically lined up with various sized hooks depending on what type of fish are biting. So they're all made up. And for my flatfish, I've got a little box of goodies, all pre-made, all ready to go out for the flappers. So we'll see how we get on with those. We're at slack water at this moment in time. The boat's going to be bouncing about all over the shop, so if I get one rod out, I'll only use one rod, because otherwise you'll just get tangled up with your other rods and it's a complete nightmare. However, on a when we're at low water or high water and there's no tide moving whatsoever, that's a good chance, it's a good time to get smoothies, taupe, spur dogs. So it is always worth having one line out, but I would only suggest if you're on your own, just getting one line out so you're not manic. Today one of the baits I'm using, ragworm. Go close to the camera. Yeah, they've got nice little pincers on the end and they will bite into your skin if you make sure the hook goes through the mouth to avoid that. The mouth point is there, and there's 2 little barbs that come out and they'll grab onto your finger and they'll bite you. Other bait I'm using today are blueies and crab. So we'll see how we get on. These are peeler crab, ideal for your smooth hounds, your taupe, your spur dog. And as we're on slack water at this particular moment in time, I'm going to put a little bit of crab, or a whole crab out, wrapped in elastic on the line to go out. How we get on during the slack water. Crab through the mouth, dead peeler crab through the mouth, underneath, come up through the body. There you go, nicely presented. The hook is out, and then we get the elastic paper out. And we start wrapping around the crab as many times as you like. I usually go about 6 to 8 to 10 to 12. Some people like more. Your comments would be lovely to hear how you would do this. But I do ensure that the hook end is never covered by the elastic, so it's got a nice, reliable bite. It's biodegradable elastic, won't affect the fish, other than me catching them. Snaps off, and we're ready to go. And this is prime time, as I said, for tope, spur dog, smooth hounds and skate. I've got a little nibble on and we're on. I am hoping that this is going to be a nice little tope or smooth hand. As I stated earlier, we was in slack water and they do like to have a little bit of a fight, and I think that's what we've got on. A little bit of fighting. Bring it over to this side, easy for the camera to see. And there we go, up to the surface. And get the net out for this. We calm it down a little bit. It's just woken up and we're in. So there we are, been fishing no more than 10 minutes and our first of the day. Let's have a look at this little beauty. Here we go. First of the day. Nice. Way!
Brilliant.
Nice little smooth hand who's got a bloodied nose now, bless him. But thank you so much. Back you pop. Enjoy. And as you can see, the elastic still remains on the hook, ensuring that the fish remained on. Biodegradable claws. You can use the claws as bait as well, but as I've brought a couple of crab out with me today, I'm quite happy. First species down. I'm just going to see if we can get his bigger brother, because we're going to use a bigger crab. I've rebaited, and it's getting just a little drop down. Let it bump, feel it, it's bumped, it's stopped, and I'm just going to let it slowly go away from the boat, because I don't want to get entangled up with the prop shaft, because I don't want to lose another camera, which happened to me last time. I got some line caught around the prop. So we all make mistakes. Have you had problems like that in the past? If so, leave them in the comments. So there's a little button to the side of this reel, just there. You can have it on smooth, silent or click. I just like to have a little click on it, just in case there's a big one, because I don't want to lose a big fish. I've just had a tiny little knock on my line, just one little bang. It could have been a crab eating on the crab, could have been a lobster eating on the crab. I don't think it would be one of the species that I'm after, because it would have taken by now. And these ugly stick braids, 12 to 20 pounds, are so bite sensitive. Yeah, we've got a little knock again, tiny little knock at the end. I think I've got a crab feeding on my crab. I'm still not putting my other rods out at the moment, because the boat hasn't fully turned. When it fully turns, then I'm going to have a happy 3-4 hours fishing, and we'll see how we get on. Right, so what is bald bloke fishing all about? Well, as you can tell, I'm a bald bloke. I love to go fishing, and I'm fortunate enough, and I've saved hard all my life to get a nice little fishing boat. I'm not an expert, I really am not an expert, and I'm sure you'll comment on this video where I've gone right, where I've gone wrong, and I appreciate all comments. You know, it's a learning curve. Life is a learning curve. I'm 61 years of age and I'm still learning. So if you've got something to say, by all means let me know. Try and keep it clean and pleasant. If you want to call me a donut, by all means call me a donut. I'll accept that. But this is what I love doing. I love being out in the sea. I love being in my boat. I love fishing. And I can't think of anything better. I like fishing with mackerel, and I also like fishing with blueies. And if I'm going for a smooth fish like a dab, a plaice, a turbot is highly unlikely in these waters, but they have been caught in the past, I use the white part of the skin. It acts as a nice little attractor to the fish. So although I could use a chunk of bluey for fishing for skate, when I'm going for little plaice dabs, I like to use the silver. And I'll show you how I attach it in a moment. So I'm just filleting the tail of the bluey. There's the two tail bits of my bluey. You've got the white as the attractor, and I'm going to use a little rig that I purchased off of eBay, the actual barring, and then I've got a couple of spoons with colour beads because I do like that, and a size 2 hook, and I'm going to tie them and use a little bit of elastic string again just to hold them on the hook to ensure I get a decent bite and that bite stays. Right, so these are going to sit in the water. Bait's going to be dropped over the side. I'm using an unusual weight. It's known as a cannonball. I just show one to the camera. Cannonball weight. That just ensures that the weight moves about a little bit in the water, stirs up the mud. Some people use the big circle weights, but I quite like these, cannonball weight, and that's going to go on the rig when it's dropped over the side. So that's on, that's all ready to go. And that's what it looks like in the daylight. And we're just gonna let this one sink over the side as well. Wait for it to hit bottom. Tide's running quite quickly now. It's taken a long time for that to hit bottom, but it's hit bottom now. And I'm just gonna let it go back a little bit further. And hopefully those little beads, attractor beads, are gonna attract the fish with the spoon that's going to be swiveling in the mud, also to attract the fish, and we'll see what we can come up with. Only problem I find with these types of rigs is sometimes you don't even know that a fish is on, but don't be embarrassed by it, it just happens. You'll be sitting there going, oh, I'll check my bait, and you find you've got a fish on it because you've missed the bite. But there we go, that's on and that's ready to go. This is just a single size 2 hook, on which I'm going to put a little bit of ragworm. Nice juicy ragworm, avoiding its teeth at the front as I don't fancy being nicked. And then slowly progress the worm through the hook. Find a nip point, have a nice little dangly bit at the end, attracts the fish, get the weights out. Now a lot of fishermen like using grips. I do when it's a nice sandy bed, but when you've got mud and you've got rocks, those grips can tie up your line and cause absolute havoc, and you could be spending the day just trying to get your line out of the rock bed. People use grippers for up tiding, and that is going up the boat. I don't, because like I say, I don't want the weight and hook to be stuck into rocks. So off we go. That's gone about 30 yards off the starboard side. Going up tiding, I'm letting the line just roll down with the tide, and we'll end up with it somewhere there. Right, I put a 3-line hook out and a nice little schoolie bass. Tiny little thing, Billy the bass. Be really careful, ladies and gentlemen, with his dorsal fin. It's got spikes, can be very painful, but there you go. Lovely schoolie. I just want his granddad. Off he goes, back in, bless him. Oh, thank you. Right, 3-hook rig. Again, I've just got a plain weight on that goes with the tide, and out it goes. No need to go far, not when you're boat fishing. Completely different when you're beach casting. But that was on my bass, my little bass, bless him. 2 fish. I'm happy, very happy, because I'm out here. Going to have a look at my flatty rig, so I had a couple of knocks on it earlier, but then nothing. Like I say, most of the time it's difficult to see the bites, especially in this type of current. Lovely Thames barge there, beautiful sight, quite a regular sight on the North Sea actually. I don't know what it is, but it's just so calming to see them. It reminds you and I of yesteryear, when everything wasn't so fast paced. Well, the 3-hook rig has tapped again on my ugly stick. I'm just going to have a little look-see. Could have just been a seaweed bounce. In fact, it was a seaweed bounce. The other baits have been in a while, so I'm going to check on the crab bait, and I'm going to check on my other ragworm bite. Unfortunately we're in an easterly wind, and there's an old saying when fishing, east is least, west is best. But I don't mind, because I'm out here, and what more could you want? Yep, fish on. Not much of a fish, no real strength behind it, but it's a fish. And when you've got easterlies, you're happy for anything. It's woken up now. I think it's another little bass. Won't know for a second or two. I'll bring around this side. And there it is. Nice, another little schoolie bass. But there's your little schoolie bass. Lovely again. Dorsal fin, be careful of them. I normally throw them all over the boat. but they've got to be 42 centimetres, about that size. Now if I catch a 42, I usually put them back. I usually look at around about 50, 55. I'm happy that I've got a big meal out of it, and I'm a big bloke, and I'm a bald bloke who loves fishing. Both baits are on there still. I'm going to mix it up, I'm going to add a little bit of ragworm to it, see if we get any joy with that. So here we go again. Normally I'll be using this setup for when I'm drifting, but it's still a bit of fun. Still a bit of fun. It's still a glorious day. Oh, that's a decent one. Oh, that's a nice bass. Well, it's a good fighting bass. He's not coming up just yet. You have to be so quick. Oh, what a lovely bass. Oh. There you are, lovely. It's got to be 42 centimetres. I'm not sure. Let's move this away. So that was on the top hook of my 3-hook paternoster rig. Don't think it's a keeper, but it's still a lovely specimen. Let's have a look, see. Oh, it is a keeper. Top of the tail to the mouth, 48 centimetres. Lovely. Hey, get in. just for information, returning to berth. Thank you. Vamos out. Bloke fishing, saying what a fantastic day I've had today, and I hope you've enjoyed it too.